Hey YouTube, today we're going to take a look at my Taurus 627 tracker. The Taurus 627 tracker is a 7-shot 357 Magnum revolver, cleared for everyone. This one I bought for about $450 or so back in January. I was looking for a gun for load development on some 357 hand loads. Decided if I was going to get a 357 and go into that kind of territory, I didn't want to risk blowing up something nicer. And despite me buying this as a worst case, a throwaway gun, something that would blow up and hopefully I wouldn't follow suit with it's grown on me. I've made some changes since I bought it. Most notable is actually really the only change has been that grip. This is the grip that it arrives with. I do not find it very comfortable at all. I mean, I like the idea of not having hand grooves, but I don't know why they went with this kind of cross material. I understand it's a way for sweat and mud and all that to build up, but it just does not feel good. So first upgrade was the tried but true hoe grips. As I've said before, I have kind of small hands, fits them well, can still manipulate all the controls. Other things I've bought along the way, I bought a speed loader. This will work with the HKS 587s. You can see 7 slots for 357, 38 special rounds. Besides fit, form, function, all that, how do I like it? It's a good shooting gun. It's got adjustable sights. It's very similar to the 586, 686, or the even like the old Model 15 or Model 66s. It's got a fully adjustable rear sight for windage and elevation. At this price point, I mean, you can't expect everything. So instead of a proper insert like you'd see on a Smith, they just went with, looks like a piece of tape, maybe paint. But for the price you're paying for one of these, not the end of the world. How's it compare to a Smith & Wesson? So this isn't a direct one-to-one comparison, but we'll go with my tried and true Model 66. It's a good gun. It's a functional gun. I will say at the end of the day, having worked in engineering, function over form every time. But it just lacks that craftsmanship, for lack of a better term. You handle this, you can feel, there's a lot of rough areas where it just feels like they did not go through and chase a machine surface and deburr it. Won't hurt you or anything. You're not going to get cut up, but you just feel rough points, for lack of a better term. Even things like the trigger, this has been cleared. Really hard to get that predictable wall. And when you let off, very mechanical sounding. Not bad, not a terrible trigger. Not the best I felt, also not the worst. That still goes to some of the Soviet era double action pistols. Good God, those are horrible, but just very clanky compared to the Model 66. Keep in mind, I am right-handed, so not as much noise and all that. A little bit smoother. Here, let me try to switch it over to my dominant side. But you see, you get a much more predictable wall let off, and not as much clackiness, for lack of a better term. It's an actual scientific term. Trust me, I'm an engineer. That said, though, as I just said about a minute ago, function before form. Does the gun work? Yes. Does it work safely? Does it handle my hand loads? Yep. Checks all those boxes. So even though I'm not the biggest Taurus fan, I can't fault the gun. It works. If you need a 7-shot 357, and this hasn't been a long, thousands of rounds test. This is basically initial. I've put maybe, we'll say 100 rounds through it of between factory and hand loads and all that. And honestly, these little guys, they're over what the reloading books state. I know I just voided my warranty by saying that, but I put more than a couple through that, and as you can see, the gun's still in one piece. I still got 10 fingers and toes. Live to see another day. So I can't say anything bad against it. Sure, it's not as refined, but who cares? If you have it, rock it. If you're looking to get a 357, I'm not going to turn you away from this one. So if you made it this long in my innate ramblings, thanks for watching. Till next time.